Okay, so to start off with, I am taking this really dark maroonish color, maybe this one, and I am picking up soft brush, and I'm just gonna decrease the size of the brush as well, and I'm just gonna create the mid part of the lips like this, and this doesn't have to be perfect just yet. So that's how I actually draw lips. I just first create the inner part of the lips, and that just helps me in building the whole lip shape a lot better. So that's what you want to do right here. And once you have that, so this is our basic rough sketch and guidelines, I should say, and I'm just going to create a new layer, and I'm just going to place it underneath it, and I'm just going to pick up soft blend brush. Now I really love this brush because it helps in painting and also blending at the same time, and I have a video on that. So if you want to see how this brush works, I definitely recommend you guys watching that video. So I'm just using this brush, and I'm just going to create the rest of the shape. Also, what you can do is, once you have created the inner part of the lips, you can also just go ahead and kind of create some cupid bow as well, like this, just to kind of guide you as in how thick the lips are gonna be. So I just do that, and we will be blending that later, so don't worry about it being perfect. I'm just gonna go ahead and pick up this color right here, and just gonna pick up soft blend as my brush, and just gonna start filling the whole lips in. So what I basically do is I just put most of the colors right in the middle of the lips like this, and then I just kind of start spreading the rest of the color like this, like really light-handed. And as you guys can see, this brush is actually kind of blending out the harsh edges that I had after putting that really pigmented color right in the middle. So that's why I really love this brush. So I'm just gonna fill the whole lips in with this brush only. And if you're using any other software than Procreate which doesn't have this brush, don't worry about it. Just pick up a hard airbrush and pick up your blending tool, and that should just do the work. So yeah, I just created the whole lip shape. Now go back to the layer where you have those guidelines and pick up your blending tool this time, and just start blending those out like this. Not completely, but make sure there's no harshness. Also blend out the cupid bows as well. Now once you have blended those out, just pick up this really dark color, and just darker than the color you used to create the guidelines, and you have to put this color right in the middle of the guides. So as in, you don't have to completely cover the whole guides. Let me just zoom in. As you guys can see, I'm just putting this color right in the middle, just to create a transition of a darker color becoming lighter as it moves upwards. I hope this is making sense. I'm trying my best to kind of explain this like that. And if you think this is looking harsh, you can just always go over with your blending brush and just blend those out together like this. I'm just gonna go back to the layer where I created the basic shape for the lips, and I'm just gonna go ahead and pick up the color that I used to create the base, and I'm just gonna take a darker and a saturated version of that color, and again just gonna pick up my soft blend brush and just gonna start putting that color right in the middle again, like also right here, and a bit of that goes on the cupid bow really lightly, and just gonna, with a similar brush, gonna blend those out. And the lips are kind of looking nice already, but I'm just gonna add a saturated version of the color that I was using, and I'm just gonna use this really lightly, and that's how I do it. You just first have to create a base, then you have to use a darker version of the base color, which is also saturated, and in the end, to top it off, you can just use a saturated color of that dark color. I hope this is making sense and it is not confusing. And I just use it here and there, and obviously I always try to create a line of sorts at the bottom of the lip like this, create a shadow there, and also right here. Also, again, it depends on the light source that you have for the painting. itself, so make sure you're keeping that in mind. And yeah, the lips are looking good, and we can now just go ahead, and you can also go ahead and add this really dark color that we used to create the guides for the lips, but you have to make sure that you are using it really lightly and just near those lines, just to create some sort of dark shadow right there. But this is optional, but this does add depth to the lips, so you can do that if you want to. You can just skip it if you want, but as you guys can see, it actually added depth to the lip. And once you are done with that, you can also just use a similar color to line the lips. Make sure the size of the brush is small and just start lining the lip. And I'm using soft blend brush to create these lines so that I can blend at the same time, and I'm not actually lining the whole part. I'm just lining the cupid bows and the bottom part of the lip as well, and a little bit on the side of the lips. And once that is done, now comes the best part, which is highlighting. Just pick up luminance brush. You can either use light brush or light pen. So I'm just going to give this brush a try and see how that looks. I think it looks great. I'm just gonna blend this out because right now it's just too harsh. I'm just gonna blend this out. This actually added a really nice color to the lips. Now this will act as the base for the highlight. And now in another layer, I'm just gonna use straight up white color just over these highlights. Like that, and it's just looking so nice, like the gradient effect it had because of the light brush that I used. Also make sure to use light brush from Luminance brush set and the base color that you use to get this effect. And now I'm just going to take up soft brush to add more in the middle of this lip area, in the mid part of the lip, to just add more glossiness to it. But this is just optional. Now the lips are looking kind of really nice and glossy. Just gonna add a few more dots over that highlight. And yeah, the lips are done. The lips look good. Obviously you can change the shape of the lips, but that's how you paint lips and how you draw them, at least how I do that. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this really quick mini tutorial. If you did, give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram, and if you do create something out of my tutorials, tag me on Instagram. I really love seeing your artworks. Other than that, I will see you guys in the next video.